Hey everybody, I was wanting to teach you about a glass harp today. So we're actually going to do a little bit of research later on this week about what the glass harp is, but I wanted to show you what it does. So normally if this was a normal class year, I would give you these 4 wine glasses and you would be, I would have you do the Hunger Games whistle with the 4 wine glasses, but you know, y'all are kind of all over the place, so we can't do that this year. So instead of you doing it, I'm going to bring it to you. Now what I've done, normally it makes it really hard because I have 4 different wine glasses and you have to find the exact pitch. So I actually give you a whole class period to do it and it takes forever. But I cheated and I used a tuner. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about how it works a little bit and kind of show you a few things. But let me demonstrate this first. So I have to get my finger wet to do this. And it's really, I use this little joint right here on this finger and I like rub it on the rim. So let's see, let me get the mic in, see if you can hear. Okay, so there's the first note. It's going to take it a minute. There we go. Okay, and then the third one. All right, so if I play them all together, that one's hard to hear. Try this again. See if I can do this a little bit. Anyway, so it's actually kind of difficult to do this today because it's cold. Just so the sound's not really coming out as much as I want it to, and so it's a little bit more difficult. But what I wanted to show you is I may have to move the camera a little bit. I have a giant wine glass, and so you can actually see some of the sound waves bounce around inside of the wine glass. Now, before I do this, something else I want to talk about is if you look, I've got each of my wine glasses, I've got this little sponge underneath it. And the reason why I have done that is because it changes what's known as timbre, T-I-M-B-R-E of the sound. So it's basically quality of sound. So if I just did it flat on the table, it doesn't sound very good. Some of the vibrations are lost in the table. So really this sponge is being used to kind of as a barrier, and it blocks the sound from going into the table. And so it sounds a lot more smooth, better quality of sound. So we'll talk about timbre a little bit later this week. Now, so let's talk about this giant wine glass. I may have to move the camera. This one is, because it is so big, it's going to be kind of low. So let me get it going. Let me add some more water. All right, so I got it going. I primed it up. Okay, so I want you to watch kind of around where the water touches the wine glass. Watch what it does. And you can kind of see the waves going through the water. So that kind of gives you a hint on about what's happening. Why is it doing this? If I took this one here, make note of this sound, this pitch. Yet if I dump out a bunch of water, much higher, okay? So what I want you to kind of think about, and we're going to be discussing over the next day or so, is why it does that. If I have more water, it's a much lower pitch. If I have less water, it's a higher pitch. This big wine glass, things are a little iffy with this one because this is just very terrible glass, so anyway, but with this one, the glass is a little bit thicker, so it's got better sound quality. But if I If I did it before, it was lower, and then I took a bunch of water out and it was higher. So actually when I made these and used the tuner to get the right note, I actually had to sit and like add water, take out water so it hit the right note and it wasn't sharp or flat. So anyway, the question is, why, if I add water, does it make the pitch lower? That's the question.